Hey y'all, it's me, Pepita, and this is Pepita's Journey. So before we get started, can you please subscribe, share, like, comment, and if you're listening, can you please rate my podcast? And thank you so much in advance. So today's episode is going to be about libido. And with it, Valentine's actually being today, yes, I had to record 2 episodes today because I was a little bit behind. I had got a little sidetracked, but so I know libido could be kind of awkward, but you know what? We're grown here, so we all know Valentine's Day equal. We want to do it. So with that being in mind, I just wanted to say how today I want to talk about weight loss in general and how that can help you have a higher libido. And also, if you have lost some weight, I can also say that I'm here for you and how I understand the show drive is a little bit higher. You are probably speeding now. So so let's get started. I recently did a little research about how when you lose weight, your libido will actually go up naturally sometime because the weight loss will help you balance your hormones, and when your body's with that being the case, because sometimes you can store too much of one hormone, and that's why you're kind of like, oh my goodness, I just do not feel like doing it. Like, why do you want it? Don't touch me. I don't want to be bothered. And that's 100% understandable, because you know what, some of us have all been there. Like for me, I I have always had a high sex drive. Let me just put that out there. Like, my sex drive is still not as high as it was when I first started dating my husband, but it's still higher than I know of some people. I feel like I need it every day. Like, throw me mine, you know. But luckily, luckily him and I have both had a high sex drive together. And then when our sex drive decreased, it decreased around the same time. The only time, there has been cases where we weren't on the same level, but I think we're both prone to helping each other out with our needs, if that makes any sense. but for us, keto has actually helped us go back to almost our original sex drive from when we first started dating. Not that our long-term sex drive had slowed down, because when we first started dating, we went from doing it every day to some days had multiples in a day, and it was still every day. It was ridiculous when we first got together. Like, the amount of it was just like, what are y'all doing? Y'all must ain't got time for nothing else but it. So, so when we first got together, we were just, all over each other. And then for us, what slowing down was actually, we just, and I think it also had to do with stress from our jobs and what we're trying to figure out our careers and stuff like that. So even though I say it slowed down, it went from every day to every other day to just a couple times a week, and it was kind of always timely, just on the off days. That's when it happened, and then we're good. And I know Some of y'all be like, that's normal. But I will also say, I remember years ago, I read something that having orgasm actually makes you your best you. And I always want to be my best you. Or even if you don't have a mate, there is a such thing as toys. And there is nothing wrong with masturbating and get yours off. Because like, I will admit, like when my husband was going through his portion of depression, I got mine. Like, even because I remember I started my journey before he did. So during that time, like even just losing a little bit weight, like a couple pounds, like I felt the spike, and I was like, I need to get done, but he wasn't in the mood, so I'm not going to force him. Or I think it's wrong to force your partner. So and that's just my opinion. So I we got. I don't be mean to put me and my husband's business out there, but for holidays and stuff like that, we like to be nasty. That is just what it is. I have another son. We're grown, so of course we have toys in the house. I don't have like a dildo because I feel weird about them, and I know even though I do have different toys, I I don't know. I'm like, I got his penis. Why do I need a dildo? Not to say a dildo, there's anything wrong with dildos. I probably should have said this. This is not for anybody who's below the age of 18. But like, I don't see the issue if that's what you got. Like, I don't. I'm a judge for each out. So if you enjoy your dildo, live your best life. Get yours. I just feel weird about penetrating myself. I have. I feel like everybody has their own weird issues. Like for me, I just like to play with my clitoris, get it done, done. You know, I just need that. I'm not. I'm not working on hitting my G spot when it comes to masturbating, but there's nothing wrong with it. Live your best life. So, I will recommend if your sex drive is high, go ahead and handle yours. Like, there's nothing wrong with handling yours. And if you do have a mate and you have to handle yours, and you're like, oh, man, sometimes I handle mine and take a picture afterwards, or be like, I just handled mine, and I promise you, your other person will think that is so sexy. Like, oh my goodness, my husband would love for me to just go ahead and do that in front of him. But I think that's my personal time if I'm going to do it. Like, I need to be in private because I'm hoping nobody sees me. But I think that's because I'm a little bit weird, to tell you the truth. But I just think that it's okay to be comfortable with your sexuality, because you know what, and part of being a healthy person, you have to have a healthy sex life too, in my opinion. Like, I want to be healthy mentally, I want body healthy, and then I need my sex life healthy. And since I'll actually be going to Vegas this weekend, well, this Sunday night, I'll be honest with y'all, I'll be out of town. Hotel sex is the best sex because it ain't your house. You don't worry about cleaning it. You're kind of, it's like worry free sex. And sometimes if like, you have to if you feel like setting the scene somewhere else makes you feel a little bit better with your mate, or whatever, or even if you're single, Go have a spa day somewhere. Spend yourself, and then give it to yourself. Like I shouldn't have been listening to Tweet when I was younger. But and if you're not familiar with Tweet, she had a song. What is the name of that song? I'm gonna look it up real quick because this song was my jam, even when I was too young to know what it meant. So happy, my aunt. Oh, shout out Aunt Samantha. This goes out to you, even though this is. I feel like this is a weird video to be shouted out in, but it is what it is. So shout out Aunt Samantha. When you told me don't sing a song till you know what it means, I happily found out what it meant, and I waited to see. I've waited to start singing that song once I really got what it meant. So thank you. And thank you, 16-year-old Peta. You were awesome. Just kidding, that's out of line. But anyway, it's fine having a great libido. So, what is the name of that song? I'm looking it up right now. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. It was called Oops, I think. Yep, Oops. That song is basically about masturbation. Or making love to yourself if you don't want to say masturbation. And it is okay to make love to you. Like, because sometimes if there's things you don't like, and it's okay to say you don't like it. And the best way to experience what you don't like and what you don't like is with yourself. So there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I totally like trying things on myself, So, and I'm also, because everybody knows I'm on keto, so I'm in the the Keto for Women's group on Facebook, and I recently saw that it wasn't just me who had started spiking up and being a horn dog. They were like, someone posted what she posted. Am I the only one, who just felt like I need it all the time? And I'm sitting here like, nope. No, you are not. Because I wake up thinking about it. And luckily, sometimes I got it. And I don't have to go to sleep thinking about it. Like, it is completely normal. Like, and if you're Christian, I hate to be this person, but we all think that Jesus got a little bit of Mary. I know I'm not the only one who thinks that. I know Jesus like, I can give you that D. You don't rub my feet all good, girl. You can get this D. And she's like, you know what, Jesus? You ain't even got to pay for it. So like, Jesus ain't think there was nothing wrong with prostitution. He said, who is without the first sin, cast the first stone. And then if you're married, and so in all technicality, how is masturbation sinning? Because you ain't with nobody. It's just you. He said I didn't read anywhere that said you couldn't love yourself. And then if you're married, what's wrong? And then if you're not married, I don't know if y'all are. I'm Baptist, so for me, I just ask for forgiveness and I'm good. I'm so good at it. And if you Methodist, you can do the same thing. It doesn't even really matter which one you are, But just ask for that forgiveness. If you feel so guilty, like I don't, and in all honesty, that's honestly what made me weird about sex to begin with is being raised so Christian based that you're just like, am I not supposed to be doing this? And I'm so weird. I'm gonna be honest with y'all because I don't know how people deal with death, and I know like they always say like they're like, oh, when someone passed, they're always like, oh, they're looking down at you, and for me, when my grandma passed, I couldn't masturbate at first because I just kept thinking, oh my god, she gonna be looking down at me doing my shit. I can't do it. I just cannot. What? Like, I had to get out of my head because I'm like, shit. I'm like, I pray that she not looking down at me. And I'd be like, why couldn't you turn your head then? Like, you kind of need those moments to have an orgasm because there's nothing wrong with it. And sometimes you just have to find that space where you get out of your own head because at first I could not because I was so uncomfortable with the idea of you know my dead grandma looking at me. So I understand that if that's your reason. If it's religious purposes, I highly doubt God or the Lord or whomever is staring at you like that when you're doing that. And if they are, they're the weirdos. Maybe I shouldn't have said that part. But we all get what I'm saying here. Like, in order to be a healthy person, you have to be healthy all over. And then if you're married, it's okay to be healthy with your partner. If you want it more, just let them know. Be like, hey, babe, you want to give me the D? And I think that is so attractive. Like, I I know it's TMI, but I feel like when I'm like that with my husband, he just springs out of nowhere. He's like, okay, I'm going to give you the D. And then it's just like, it's so fun. Because I feel like, especially if you've been with a person for more than 5 years, like, you still want that spark. And that's what I love that I have with my husband, is that we're still able to be like, the beginning where everything's fun. And I know some people are like, well, you don't have kids. Well, I tend to I say this now. Hope this doesn't come to bite me in the butt years later. I think when I do decide to have kids, I'm still want to do it. Because how else are there going to be multiple kids? There can't just be one kid. You're going to have to still do it. And you're going, like, with me being a hairstylist, sometimes I speak to, like, my mommy clients, and it's just like, I get you want to love your children, and you feel so guilty when you're not around. I get that. Like, I completely understand, that you don't want to feel like your child doesn't love you. Like, you don't love them because you want to just love their daddy for a moment. So, but in order to wholly love your children, you got to make sure you don't neglect daddy at the same time, or vice versa. And especially if you're working on losing this weight, like, even if it's just 2 pounds, you're like, I only lost just 2 pounds. Losing that 2 pounds feels so great. You should flaunt it. And I promise you, if your mate or whomever, which is already there, they don't care. They do not care. They want it just as bad as you want it. And it's okay to look in the mirror and be like, you look good, girl. Because that helps you. It really does. And and it makes it more fun. And if you're stressing, especially after having a little kiddo that's so cute and all, sometimes you have to remember you have to be yourself at the same time, because eventually that kid is going to be a grown person and it's going to be just you and your husband, and you don't want to let things go by to where you don't know your husband anymore. Because I have had a client like that in my chair too, and that I couldn't even. I, well, one I couldn't imagine what it would be like to have lived with somebody so long that you don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? So it's okay to explore, have fun, and especially with this being February, this is the month of exploring. Like, and Google some things. You're like, oh, we haven't tried this, or and with you losing weight, look at yourself in lingerie. Even if it's just you in a mirror, and just, and if you're single, do the same thing, because I was listening to a different podcast called The Love Hour, and they kind of target people who are actually married because they're love champions. And one of the things they said to keep things cool is keeping some lingerie, because lingerie isn't actually just for men. It's actually for you to help you feel more confident about yourself, so that you kind of get out of your head. So like sex, or like being with yourself isn't as hard, so you won't have to be in your mind. And if you're not into porn, I completely agree. I completely understand it. I've also been the type to like go through all the like categories, because I'm a huge weirdo. Like, Nikki, shout out again. I probably should shout you out doing this, but my best friend is like the coolest person I know. Uh, she's not like a petite skinny girl. She's always been a little bit thicker, always high confident. Um, she just, even though cause she's not like sloppy big or anything like that, but she's just like, not the same, you know, she's she's just like a thicker person. She's plus size, and she's also on her weight loss journey too, and she has always had, like, in my opinion, from what I know of her, has always been quite a sexual person. She's always been in tune with her sexuality, and I've always thought that was the coolest thing ever, because it's just like I felt like I always wanted that. Like, that's what I was missing. So sometimes she still helps me. Like, I have to be like, Nikki, what you think of something? And she'll tell me what she thinks. But with that being said, with her being, a plus size sexual girl, she has, you know, where was I going with this? So with her having fun and stuff, like, I love the way she dressed. I find, like, even if you are plus size, guys don't care. Not to say she's not like unattractive, because she's attractive. She just, um, for me, she helped me realize that. Oh, that's where I was going, because we're talking about porn. So she was like, there's more than just one type of porn. So if one porn don't work for you, find another one. And then I also found that I like reading erotica. So even if you don't like watching and you gotta read it, so you can have, so it can be more into your imagination. I think that is super cool. And then handle your business. Or if you want to try on some lingerie and just pull it up for your guy or your girl, do it. Have fun. because we all, it's okay to, enjoy that part of you, because with keeping a healthier sex life, it just helps you become a better person. Because I don't know if you notice that when you're like wanting it and it's been a minute, that you tend to be a little bit more tense instead of really loose. Like that truly helps, and it's okay to explore and enjoy that side of you. And it's totally normal for your sex drive to spike up when you start losing weight. Because I'm down 30 pounds and my husband's down 50. And we're both like, let's jump these bones. And it's super cool. It's super normal. Don't be afraid of that, just enjoy yourself. And then you know, if you're trying to find a reason to start your weight loss journey and you feel like your sex drive is just like, or like a sad face, if you couldn't see me do my sad face, um I I would recommend it for that alone, because I mean, being healthy is awesome. But I mean, if you can have another plus, why not? Be- because I don't see that being an issue. And so I hope you enjoyed today's show. So please like, subscribe, and rate my podcast. And thank you again. And y'all have a great one. Bye bye.